Hi guys, good morning. This is Gerry coming to you from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. Rythmia Life Advancement Center is a plant-based life advancement center specializing in metaphysical teachings and combining sacred plant medicines, hi Zinlin, and combining sacred plant medicines with metaphysical teachings for a very, very, very unique outcome. What's unique about the outcome here is that we have a particular way of looking at the spiritual experience. And that way, we believe that something happens between when you're conceived and about 6 years old, where you split from yourself to become someone else. And this split accounts for all addictions, all disease, and all disorders, as well as the majority of sadness that you're going to experience in your life. Hey, Meg. Hi, Karen. So this is what we believe. And we believe by putting them back together that all of these things go away. Hi, Lisa. So how do we know that this is true? Well, we have a fairly unique perspective. We have about 7,000 people that have gone through the doors here. And 95.12% of them, that's 951 out of every 1,000, say that they merged back with their soul and that their life has been forever changed. So at 6 months, we poll these people again electronically, and 97.55% of them say that their life has been forever changed and this thing that happened to them is still working in their life. So a little bit, hey Sven, so a little bit about me. My name's Gerry. I'm the founder and CEO of this place, and my life had been a terrible mess. I was super lucky in business. I became a millionaire in my 20s, a multi-millionaire in my 30s, and a multi-millionaire in my 40s, but I was in terrible shape. I tried to kill myself on 2 different occasions. I was a drug addict, a sex addict, an alcoholic, just about everything you could imagine that was undesirable. And through the miracle of this medicine, something happened to me where I merged back with my soul, and my life has been forever changed. So I'm super, super, super grateful to it. I'm super grateful for this place called Rythmia. I'm super grateful for our Rythmia family. And this week is a wonderful week for us because we have Titan Juanito here this week. So I believe there's about 90 people here for that. And what we're doing in the world of spirituality, in the world of personal development, is taking off so good that like it's becoming very harder and harder and harder to get in here. So we started out, we had 6 people here a week, and now we have 90. And we're booked out for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 weeks in advance. And that number is going to keep going north because we keep trying to do a better job of it, yeah? And the results we're having are phenomenal. We're the #1 rated TripAdvisor. We're the #1 rated customer resort on TripAdvisor. We're the #1 customer rated resort on TripAdvisor. That's what I meant to say. We're the best resort in the world, according to TripAdvisor. So every week I get letters and emails and different things from people about subjects that I've touched on. And the one that was overwhelming 2 weeks ago was, when do I know when to quit? If I'm in a business, if I'm in a new profession or a calling, when do I know that it's not working? And this is a wonderful, beautiful business but spiritual question. It's a business question, but it's a spiritual question. When do I know? When is it time for me to quit? So let's talk about that. We have to go before that in order to find out when it's time for you to quit. So in lots of businesses I had, one that I can really remember, I didn't quit. I hung on and hung on and hung on. And the board actually fired me. And within a year of that firing, I started a business that was similar to that business. And that business I ultimately sold 4 years later for about 90 million bucks. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you, I know a lot about the quitting and when is the right time and when is the not right time to quit. So let's go before that. The question really at hand here is, am I doing the right thing with my life? So what we really want to get to is, am I doing the right thing with my life? Is my heart moved by what I'm doing? Whew. Now this is the question. Because I can be in the most lucrative business in the world. There are guys that are great at business, and they're in businesses that they hate being in, and those businesses make money. And that is the most anticlimactic, worst feeling in the world, is to be successful in something that I don't like. You want to talk about being in jail? That is a jail. That's a jail. So let's go to the question before the question. When I picked what I'm doing with my life, did I pick it from a position of wholeness? Here's the real one. When I picked what I picked to do with my life, what I'm doing right now, did I pick that from a position of wholeness? If I didn't pick that from a position of wholeness, there's a very high chance that it's something I should quit. Correct. If I didn't pick that from a position of wholeness, it is not my heart's calling. It might be what I called, it might be what I was called to do at the time, to stay ahead of my neighbors, to keep up with the Joneses. It might have been what my father wanted me to do for a living. It might have been what everybody told me I should be doing. You should be a nurse. Your mother was a nurse. Your grandmother was a nurse. Your great-grandmother was a nurse. You should be a nurse. And I said yes to that. Well, if I said yes to that, and I didn't do it from a position of here, I did it so that my mother would love me. It's the fucking wrong thing, and you should back out of it as quickly as possible. And this is the truth. If I did the thing that I'm doing from any place other than my wholeness, I should quit it. Or not I should quit it, I should examine it and see if it was something I picked from my wholeness. I don't want you to listen to this. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes your father was a veterinarian and forced you to become a veterinarian, and you would have picked being a veterinarian out of everything in the world. That's a different thing. Yeah, that's a different thing. Most of the people who are involved in this podcast, most of the people that look at this Facebook Live are healers. So you want to keep that in mind too. Most of the people that look at this are healers. So let's just go back to this a second. So we have to go back to the why we picked this. If we picked it for money, you got to really examine that again. If we picked it because our mom told us, we really got to examine that again. If we picked it out of pressure from our friends, which happens all the time. This happens all the time. My friends went to law school, so I went to law school. My brother went to law school, so I went to law school. Anything that you picked out of a place at a time where there was not wholeness, you have to go back and re-examine. Why do I say that? Because your clock is fucking ticking. And this is the truth. Your clock is ticking. And you cannot waste a second of this precious life that you have this time around on something that somebody else forced you into, or that you did from a lower vibrational place in yourself. This is the great time. Look, there are times to not quit. I'm going to tell you, there are times to not quit. There are times to quit. As soon as you discover you're not doing the thing that you were sent here to do, you quit and you back out of it. You back out of it, and you back out of it quickly. You know why? Because 30 comes, 35 comes, 40 comes, 45 comes, 50 comes, 55 comes, 60 comes, and all of them come quick with progressive speed. They go like this, and they go like this, and they go like this, and the next thing you know, they're going like that. So now is the time to back out, which is always what I'm talking about. Now is the time to examine. Simple fucking question. Did I become a banker from a part of me that was whole at that time. Boom. If no, ask, from my wholeness, would I pick being a banker? And there are those people that would. Because being a banker can be a spiritual experience. Doing anything can be, when it's coming from this place. So again, please get alone. And the thing is this: I don't agree with you people freshly. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't make you happier. Whoever that was that went there. Yeah. So what I'm going to tell you is this: is that the guy just said, I don't agree with you pressuring people to be on the spiritual path. I'm not pressuring fucking people to be in. Open your ears, dude. I'm pressuring people to be involved in their life. To get going in the right direction. And I hope that helps people. So anyway, and there will always be people like that, yeah? And their opinion matters as well. But I'm going to say this to you. If you're not doing this from a place of wholeness, if you're working in a job, I don't even care if you're in the healing arts. If you're in the healing arts because somebody pressured you into it, or because your neighbor did it, or because your mother said to do it, and you're not into it, you have to back out of that. And when you back out of this, when you back out of that position, you can sit there and re-examine it. And here's the great thing. If you have 2 feet in a heartbeat, in other words, if you are alive, if you're looking at the green side of the grass, we got a fresh slate. Every day that you're looking at the green side of the grass, you have a fresh slate. You have a brand new chance. So you can continue to be doing what you're doing, being upset, and this is what people tend to do. When they pick their vocation from a place that wasn't whole, they go through their whole life wondering what else is wrong. So this thing that they're doing for a living, this thing that they're exchanging energy for and getting energy back, isn't right. And what do they start doing? They start looking outside themselves for something else. Okay, now I want to have sex to fill this hole. I want to drink to fill this hole. I want the perfect relationship to fill this hole. I want to do something else to fill this hole. I want to play this game to fill this hole. I want to go to this place to fill this hole. And that is what ends up happening. You end up forever chasing a circle that you can't catch up on. You can't catch up on it. You can't. So this is what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to really today, to sit down and to look at yourself and say, did I pick this? When I picked this, and here's the thing, forget about what it is. There are people every day, if they had a clean slate, they would be garbage men. If they had a clean slate, they would be zookeepers. If they had a clean slate, they would be accountants. Fucking from their wholeness. Your thing isn't to judge the thing, it's to judge where you were at when you picked the thing. It's to judge where you were at when you picked the thing. So let's say, where was I at when I picked this? I am now an accountant. Where was I at when I picked this? And you go back in your mind, and you see where you're at, you picked it, you say, uh-oh, that's probably not a good spot to pick from. Let me ask, if it were from my wholeness today, would I be doing this job? And if the answer is no, you have to back out, because the time is ticking. Time is ticking, time is ticking, time is ticking, time is ticking. And if you treat yourself this way, if you treat yourself in this regard, everything can be changed. Every single thing. You're never out of time until you're out of time. But there's the right time to get on the right track is yesterday. It's just a fact of life. You can't sit there and say, well, I'm really unhappy, and this isn't working, and that isn't working, and this isn't working, and one day I'm going to change it. You can say that, but I'm going to tell you what, in your dying time, you're going to wish that you did that earlier. Fact. The data is out there. But if you take a look at what people complain about when they're dying. The thing is, I wish I would have followed my heart. Number one, I wish I would have followed my heart. I wish I did things for myself and not other people. Boom. This is the chance. This is the chance to go to square one. I'm going to give all of us the chance today. Today is the day to take 10 minutes and just ask this simple question. If you're plagued by the question, and what does it mean to be plagued by the question? When you're constantly thinking, am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right place? What's up with my life? Why am I sad? Why am I unhappy with this? Why am I unhappy with that? Why isn't this the right? If you're in that place, take 10 minutes. And I'll tell you this, take 10 minutes and go into a closet. I mean, it's hard to do at work. It's hard to do when there's kids running around. It's hard to do that, but it's only 10 minutes. So I can tell you what, close your bedroom door, go into your closet, close your closet door, bring a notebook and a paper, and ask this question. Go back in time to my vocation. When I picked what I'm doing right now, why did I pick it? Why? What was my motivation for picking it? Did I pick it because I loved it? There are people, I have to tell you what, there are people all the time that they're fortunate people, I think, that this happens to. A kid's in school and he starts to like literature and he starts to write. And the moment that he writes his first story, he is hooked because he's gut set on this is what he's going to do. Some people are like that. If that's what happened to you, write it down. And then reassure yourself that that was the right thing for you, right? If not, if you're in a good job, if you're a stockbroker, if you're this, if you're that, and you go back to the point that you decided to be that, and you decided to be it for something like, I wanted to make more, I wanted a nicer car, a nicer house, nicer this, nicer that. Now all of a sudden we got to reconsider. And by reconsider, I'm not saying change your mind. I'm saying to take a second look at it and to reevaluate that position and say, okay, if I were whole, or if I were as whole as I am today, and I had all this to choose from, would I choose this? And if the answer is no, you got to back out of it. You got to back, and anybody can back out of anything. The only thing that keeps us from backing out of things is financial things, which can be managed, and ego things, which can't be managed. In other words, if I back out of this, my neighbors will look funny at me, therefore I'm staying in it. If I back out of this, the guys at the club are going to make fun of me. That is how to not do that. The way you have to do it is you have to do everything from your wholeness. What would my wholeness want? Because once you've picked the thing that you're doing from your wholeness, you should never, ever, ever quit because it's your thing. Even when it's going bad. As a matter of fact, more you should hang on and push further more when it's doing bad than when it's doing good. Because in building these things, and building businesses, and building careers, there are these hard times where the universe tests you. If this thing is from your heart, you're going to stay with it. And if you stay with it, you're going to get inertia. And once you get inertia, all doors open. All roads lead to where you want to. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. But you have to do this from your wholeness. You can't pick this thing from a fragmented part of yourself. You have to pick it from your wholeness. So today, I'm going to ask you to take some time. And if you notice, all of my talks, all of the things that I try to get, to try to help people with, are always about self-reflection. They're never about going outside of ourselves to get things. They always start with reflecting in the self. What am I doing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? What am I doing? What is the reason I decided to do this? And if you can get to that, one of two things happen. Number one, you can reassure yourself that you're on the right path. And that's super, 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 super important. And number two, you can change your mind. And remember this, man. As long as you're alive, you can change your mind. As long as you're here, you can start a new path. That today is the day that you can start something different. And I'm going to tell you what, life is too short to not chase your passion. Life is too short to not do what your heart really wants to do. It's way too short. So please get into following your heart. Today is the day to follow your heart. All I'm asking you to do is to get alone and to listen to your heart. Because when you listen to your heart will tell you if you're in the right place. And if you're not in the right place and you're 18, get out of it. If you're not in the right place and you're 38, get out of it. If you're not in the right place and you're 108, get out of it. Because life is too short. There's only so many days to get this right. Only so many days to get this right, so let's get it right. And getting it right starts with right now. It starts right now, asking your heart about my vocation. Today is about my vocation. About my vocation. When I decided to become a plumber. The day that I decided to become a plumber, was that something I picked from my wholeness? Simple, simple stuff. The day that I decided to sell cars, was that something I picked from my wholeness? The day that I decided to become a doctor, was that something I picked from my wholeness? And if not, and I am whole right now, would it be something that I picked all over again? And if not, get out. And if yes, remember this and reassure yourself that you're on the right path. You're absolutely on the right path. So that's my message for today. That's my message for this week. I want to tell you, may God hold you, may God keep you, may God love you and protect you. If you're coming to Rythmia, get in there and book, because this place is sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. And I want to tell you, I want you to experience it, especially if you haven't been here. If you've been here 100 times or 10 times or whatever, that's one thing, and I'd love to see you back. But really, if you haven't done this, get on board and let this thing happen to you. Because from this place of wholeness, life unfolds in the right manner. It just does. It's the truth. And I want to tell you, if you have questions and you want to ask somebody, you can ask anybody that's on this what is this called? This thread or whatever that's been here. If you want to speak to someone, we have counselors who can ask you answer any question you have. And they're at 866-936-9446. And I want to see you here. I want you to come here, and I want you to feel this way. You know, too many people feel like there's no hope. And it's not the people that are on death's door. I'm not talking about a guy who is suicidal at this moment, although there's tremendous hope for him. There's many more people who are living a life of quiet desperation. They're just like, nothing matters anymore. The fun is gone. The joy is gone. They're just going through the paces. They look at their husband and wife with disgust. They look at their job with disgust, which is actually a reflection of them, right? I'm talking to them. To come, to feel alive again, to feel what it's like to feel again. Come here, feel this, and do it with us. We love you guys so much. God bless you, God keep you, God hold you. Take some time out for you today. Take 10 minutes. That will pay for the rest of your life. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day.